féascar ma a thula duine, a mi dochas go bhfuil sibh go ma, agus go bhfuil siide ma iad a bhí acu mar a hid a bhí acu na seo an the nation. Good afternoon or evening, everyone. I just wanted to hop on here and say I hope you've had a great weekend, and I wanted to come on and do a little video about the month of May. Given that it's drawing to a close and we're soon going to be into June, I thought I'd hop on here and tell you a few little bits and pieces about the Scottish Gaelic tradition and bits and pieces about how important this month was in the crofting calendar in times gone by. So, as probably most of you know, the 1st of May is Bealtaine, or Bealtaine as it's known in English, and that's become quite a big festival these days, and it's celebrated all over the place. But it's always been an important marker in the Gaelic calendar, welcoming in summer. But more importantly than that, May was the month where people used to take their animals up to the sheilings to the summer pastures, and to keep the animals away from the ground where their crops would be growing. And I've been looking into bits and pieces of information about how that went and what they used to do, and found some interesting little tidbits that I wanted to share with you. Some lovely little sayings and verses that I've found in my research. So what used to happen was, for example, in the townships where I'm from, in Bhealtaine and Illyri in North Uist, there would be a certain date in the month where the animals would have to be cleared off the land, and then another date where they would have to be taken up to the sheilings for the summer. And the women and the children would go up, and there would be all sorts of fun and games going on up there at the sheilings. But I found in my uncle Willie's thesis, which he wrote all about the history of Bhealtaine and Illyri, and if you're interested you should definitely try and get your hands on a copy and read it. It's really fascinating. But in there he talks about how the people of the township used to appoint a constable every year, and this constable's job was to make sure that everybody had the correct number of animals, they had a certain number of rules, so it was sort of self-governing. So this constable would make sure that the rules were kept, and every year this person who was chosen had to make a promise. And the promise he made I really like, because he used to have to say "Yn fiannis úd agus ahad, yn fiannis ye agus ghnásanna," and that translates as "by the witness of the land and the skies, by the witness of God and the people." And I really love the way that it sort of harks back to a time, perhaps a pre-Christian time, and talks about the importance of the land and the air, and then God and the people. And I've been thinking a lot about how in those times people really lived so close to the land all the time, and somehow over the last sort of 50 or 100 years that's kind of become lost. And you can see now people starting to go wild swimming, walking barefoot, and science is actually showing the benefits of being in such close proximity with nature. And some doctors, I believe up in Shetland, even prescribe walks in nature for people who are feeling a bit down and looking for ways to help them feel better. But finally, I wanted to read out for you a lovely hymn I found in Carmina Gadelica, which is a collection of folklore by Alexander Carmichael, who undertook a huge collection in the 19th century. And among it was published this, which is a hymn that people used to say, a sort of incantation that people used to say when they were taking their animals up to the sheilings to invoke good luck for the summer and to make sure that everything went well. And the thing that I love about it is that, again, it doesn't just call on God. they invoke the Archangel Michael, who was the dragon tamer, and they invoke Mother Mary, they invoke St. Bride, Callum Keela, as well as the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. And this is how it sounds in Gaelic. A víchel vil nen steed gelle, hoshin key said dragon falla, Gul dias pian vich withe, school the skia orn, gian shinule, school the skia orn, gian shinule. For the graag, vahed oon yiel, koed orne glan, oin a hoorslag. Vrietje voyach, voorgelen en treed, koom koolach, koerstishin le heel. Koom koolach, koerstishin le heel. A chalom chile, charstel huiv, en dan je mahed is michke spirit nuiv, tried ne trien, Kommerik sin féin, glé trial, Kommerik sin féin, glé trial. Ahed a vichke spirit nuiv, begin trien lean je las a geich, zit macher loom, nor ruin en biaum, bien trien leans, be a lav mer kiaum, bien trien lean, being lav mer kiaum. Isn't that lovely? I'll maybe post the English words down below. Now, I also am very excited to have teamed up with my fantastic friend Bealtaine NicDhòmhnaill, who is from Donegal in Ireland. Now, Scottish Gaelic and Donegal Gaeilge, or Donegal Irish, are actually very close, and we shared a flat many years ago and we were able to understand each other, although there's a lot of differences, but we were able to make each other out. And so Bealtaine has kindly recorded a very short story about the cailleach Bealtaine, which is the old woman of Bhealtaine. So the chailleach, as some of you will know, is another figure in Scottish and Irish folklore, which is perhaps a topic for another video. But Bealtaine is an award-winning storyteller and author, and here she is telling the story of cailleach Bealtaine.
Bhí sin a bhadahin, is a bhadahin hain Imagine lei Bhealtaine a bhain, bhí fear an mhuich ag fia. Agus bhí na ba a lugus tíhann sa farcacha a rích na híthe, agus nar bhí sesin a teach na bhile an bhaidin dar gionn hochrí sé go raibh sé isteach na parca go bheiceadh na ba. Ag go dé tí sé bhí a bhain acu ag giorria is ag dúil baine den mhá. Ní na inu hui an fear meia fad. Dar di sé a ghona scael peilirlíthe. Ach í go réirí leis an giorria a bhíolú, de mi siise líthe cosa a nuride, srú fála lena súl. Bhaileann an bharí, haar na sléifte, haar na srúchain, fríd na mínte, fríd na múnte, go dtí go runóin bug agus déú an léon. Is deach a deach an sin líthe, is deach leis an mear ina dé. Ag dé tí sé ina sia sa chlúid rifa, a sean chaile chute rippailte riana. Srú fála lena súl, san áit bhuial sesin an giorria. Beise an giorria.